We've got the Hyundai Elantra Hybrid.
Great value. Ooh.
Ooh, it's got some pep to it.
Doesn't sound bad either.
No.
All right, we are in the hybrid version of the ever popular Elantra. What's under the hood of this thing?
A 1.6-liter four-cylinder hybrid powertrain with a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission. It gets a combined 139 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. This is a front-wheel drive model, and you can use regular fuel.
So this has a dual-clutch transmission and almost 200 pound-feet of torque?
Yep.
Okay, we're already starting off well. This hybrid gets up to 885 kilometers or 550 miles of range to every tank of fuel. So the nice thing is, in the Canadian market anyway, there is just one trim for the hybrid, 2 in the United States. What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 10.25-inch digital driver display, a 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated manual front seats, a heated steering wheel, leatherette upholstery, a wireless charger, a Bose sound system, sunroof, and a hands-free automatic trunk. In the US, some of these features are not standard. We'll get into more details on the trims later in the video.
It's hard to get to the buttons because there's this big barrier in the middle, Andrea. If I reach, what can I put it in?
You can reach them just fine. You got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. That's a must to see what's going on behind the scenes. It's Motormouth_Andrea. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto. And the links are below the like button. Usually with hybrids, it's a bit of a... Are you feeling that with this, or are you getting a different vibe?
Well, it's a hybrid. I got to clarify, it's a hybrid, but I guess it's got a bit of a sportier feel to it. What's impressive to me is just how smooth it is. And we also have the Nissan Pathfinder with a V6 this week, and we were doing car to car on the highway where we're following each other, and I can't believe how quickly this got up to speed on the highway after I kind of brought the vehicle to a stop and then caught up. So it's really impressive, and it's that 195 pound-feet of torque that makes the difference.
See, I was going to say, I think this is actually a hybrid I can get behind.
Yeah.
In the fun factor, it's like with the numbers it has and the dual clutch and its small form factor, I find it really quite rewarding to drive, and most people will never know it's a hybrid.
Well, I think because it's a sedan, you know, you sit lower to the ground, it always has a sportier feel than what you would ever get with an SUV. This is not as quiet as the Tucson is. Hybrid-wise, it does get a little bit louder on the highway when accelerating. I'm always impressed with the Tucson being so quiet. The steering is quite light in this, and maneuverability is fantastic. The turning radius is excellent. You can really, you know, take corners with ease, throw it around in the city. I'm really enjoying it.
What it also has is a lot of angles, and is it got a face only a mother could love, Andrea? I don't mind it, but I've never really warmed to it that much.
Now, this is the 2023 model, and there are some updates for 2024. We'll get into that. The model is not available yet for us to drive, but it's going to have the same powertrain, so we should expect it to be very similar.
It's just cosmetics they're doing,
yeah,
right?
I'm not crazy about the look of this. It's too angular for me. It is unique. You will see it on the road when it's coming your way, but it's not my favorite, and I think I like the look of the 2024 model more.
Well, maybe that's why they've updated it, because this is a bit polarizing. Interestingly, though, in the sales angle, it's sold incredibly well.
Yeah.
So, you know, beauty is in the eye of the person making the payment.
I also think it's the price point.
Yes.
It is priced really well. There's a lot of value here, and we'll get into the price and our vital stats coming up a little bit later on. This comes standard with LED headlights, LED taillights. It's got that dark chrome grille, and it has 17-inch wheels as standard equipment and a tire repair kit.
So we touched on it already. They have announced there's going to be an update for 2024. We don't have that one yet, but as Andrea mentioned, the drivetrain's the same. What has being changed?
The Elantra gets a new front and rear design with LED taillights across the body, new wheel designs, new flat stainless steel Hyundai emblem, and more customer-friendly safety technology features like new rear side airbags, new rear seatbelt reminder, and steering wheel haptic feedback added to lane keep assist, blind spot, collision warning, and rear cross traffic alert.
So that new model also gets some updates on the inside, including redesigned wireless charging pad, new soft touch front door panels, new leatherette seat surfaces, and new color choices. I'm kind of distracted, Andrew, because over there is the third eye.
I know.
It's the weird little circle on the left side of the instrument cluster. We always question why it exists. In other Hyundai products, they've covered that with the same fabric that's on the door cards. I think that would look better.
Yeah, it would look good. Now, we've only got one trim in Canada, and we went through all of those key standard features. You get the dual 10.25-inch screens with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. In the US, you do have a base trim, and you get an 8-inch touchscreen and a 4.2-inch driver display. With that model, because the 8-inch screen does not have navigation, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Oh, I hear things, Andrea.
Yeah.
I hear there's updates coming to Hyundai and Kia and Genesis for wireless on all screens. I got a message from somebody in Europe who's got a new car that has it, so it is eventually going to trickle through. This is a pleasant interior. We're going to talk about it a bit more in Questions, Coffee, and Cars, the grade level on the interior compared to the Corolla.
Yeah.
But I like the fact there's real switches for the HVAC controls, real switches for the control panel. It's well done, actually.
Yeah, and it feels really open and quite spacious, comfortable in here. I'm really enjoying every aspect of the interior of this Elantra. In the US, you do have that top trim, and you're going to get some extra features that we don't get in Canada. And some important features like driver's seat memory, a power driver's seat, and ventilated front seats.
I was going to complain about the fact there's no power driver's seat, and then I thought, well, I'm just being a whiner considering the price. But now that I know America gets it, I want a power driver's seat.
I think if you're sharing the vehicle with someone, driver's seat memory is super helpful. You're not always, and you're not always changing the seat. And when you live in a hot climate, ventilated front seats are a very important feature to some people.
We want it all in inexpensive cars. That's our problem with our society. We want it all. And we don't want to pay that much for it. But then when you start adding all the things, it gets expensive. But anyway, you go in a spiral if you get into that loop. Okay, so this vehicle is nicely equipped. Andrea's gone through the extra features for the United States. It's also one of the biggest in this class. Here's me getting in the back seat. It has actually very good legroom, pretty good headroom, and comfortable. I would say this is a great cruiser in the back.
Since this vehicle is so big, we're going to compare it to the Honda Accord Hybrid, just to give you an idea of how spacious it is. The Elantra offers 42.3 inches of front row legroom, which is the same as the Accord. Second row legroom at 38 inches is about 2 inches smaller than the Honda, but bigger than the Toyota Corolla. Trunk space for the Elantra is 14.2 cubic feet, which is just over 2 cubic feet less than the Accord. Not really much, considering the Accord is in another class.
So still to come, we have Hot Topic and Questions, Coffee, and Cars, and then we're going to get into the price. Price is key for an economy car. Right now, time to drink coffee.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
How did you find the driver's seat? I had one as a rental and found it lacked support and was uncomfortable after an hour. What do you think?
It's the first I've even thought about the seats. So if I haven't thought about the seats, I'm fine with the seats.
I think that they're quite comfortable myself.
I like
haven't
the material.
Noticed it after an hour being a problem at all.
I think the material is a standout because this is faux leather.
Yeah.
But it looks like and feels like real leather. I mean, it's got a real premium cabin.
It does.
for the price.
Hold on, that's a question coming up.
Okay.
Hold your thoughts.
Okay.
Nice little product from Hyundai. I would definitely go for the hybrid over the regular gasoline model. How do you like the 6-speed auto versus a CVT or the planetary hybrid system that Toyota uses? This is actually a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. You'd never know it. Other dual clutch transmissions that I've been in from Hyundai as well as Volkswagen are a little bit jerkier. This is smooth.
I think the electric motor helps smooth some of that out, and it's a great car. I mean, the interesting thing is we have never driven this car before.
No.
It was available to us a few years ago, and we kind of passed on it. Now, because of the price of fuel and the cost of living crisis, we're like, this is probably a pretty good car to take. And I'm disappointed that we didn't get it before because I'm really liking it.
Yeah, same.
In fact, for a hybrid car, it drives really well. I like the interior. I'm liking it a lot.
It's priced well, it's fuel efficient, and it's comfortable and spacious. It does a lot well. How does it compare to the Toyota Corolla when it comes to interior materials? Is it plastic fantastic as well, or does it have a more upscale interior?
Oh, well, I think, the seats, these are faux leather, aren't they, Andrea?
Do you know what I'm really impressed with? Is the fabric on the door.
Yeah.
How terrific is that? And you know what? It carries through to the back of the seats.
Well, that was one of the highlights when we first got this latest generation Elantra, is that they have gone to a mixed material interior, and boy, does that ever make a difference. So you've got a brushed aluminum vent stripe that goes across the middle of the dash, contrasting colors. But the cloth, I agree with Andrea, the fact that it runs from the back seats to the door cards in the back, this isn't expensive to do.
I know.
I wish more companies would do it.
And lots of soft touch materials, even on the door. Not a lot of piano black in here. We know that Hyundai and Kia both like their piano black. There's some at the center console, but I mean, really quite spacious and well done. And how about the lighter interior
All right,
color?
so what is the benefit of the Toyota? Well, first of all, it's a Toyota. It's going to have great resale value. It's going to get better fuel economy and is available with the all-wheel drive system. This is front-wheel drive only. So if you're living somewhere with more inclement weather, and there you go, that might be an option.
The Corolla feels pretty spacious and comfortable as well, but you're right. You've got Toyota grade materials in the Corolla. It's not the same as this. This definitely feels a little bit more upscale.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
What are the other available hybrid all-wheel drive cars in Canada?
So all-wheel drive is the key part of that question, Andrea, and that's kind of the sticky one, and there's one brand that does this better than everybody else. So we've got 3 C's and a P. Corolla, Camry, Crown, and what's the P?
Prius. So those are all-wheel drive models, which is nice to have, of course. You know, we see the Honda Accord, it's front-wheel drive. The new Civic Hybrid is going to be front-wheel drive, as is this. You can get away with a good set of winter tires on a front-wheel drive model, and you probably find that you are just fine. But some people who are living in a very snowy climate may feel more comfortable with an all-wheel drive model.
All right, so just to back this up a little bit, the all-wheel drive system in the Toyota products we mentioned is a small electric motor at the back. It's not mechanically connected to the engine at the front, and it's not going to have all of the available torque. It's a small electric motor for e-assist for all-wheel drive. So there you go. All right, let's get into the most important thing probably is fuel economy, the price, and more in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. In Canada, just one trim, and it starts just under $33,000. In the US, the Blue model starts at just under $25,000, and the Limited just under $29,500.
Well, you buy this car for fuel economy. It's rated at 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 4.5 on the highway. That's 49 miles per gallon in the city, 52 on the highway. Hyundai offers a warranty of 5 years, 100,000 kilometers, or 60,000 miles. In the United States, complimentary maintenance is covered for 3 years, or 36,000 miles. If you want to buy a sedan that's a hybrid, here's what else you might consider.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Toyota Corolla Hybrid with a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder and a hybrid system, 138 horsepower, and a starting price just over $29,000.
The Toyota Prius with a 2-liter 4-cylinder, a combined 196 horsepower, and a starting price just over 40 grand.
The Honda Civic Hybrid has been announced and is coming sometime next year.
The Honda Accord Hybrid with a 2-liter 4-cylinder and a combined 204 horsepower, a starting price of $43,000.
So there are 4 hybrid sedans for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
I love the price point of this, an affordable hybrid.
I think the cabin is punching above its price.
And what I'd love to see is maybe a power driver's seat, just like in the US.
That's what I was going to say. Now that I know America has it, I want that. I want what I can't have.
Yep.
I didn't know it was available, but now I know it's available. I want that.
Yep.
We want that too. Yesterday.
Yep. We'll see if we can get it. This Elantra Hybrid is a great affordable option.
What Andrea said.